Hello students, today we are going to learn the new poem from the textbook First Flight. The name of the poem is The Ball Poem by John Berryman. John Berryman was born John Smith in McAlester, Oklahoma on 25th October 1914. He taught at many American universities ending at the University of Minnesota. He is best known for the Dream Songs in 1969, which was a sequence of 385 poems. He won the Pulitzer Prize for the Dream Songs. He also won National Book Award. About the ball poem. The ball poem is very subtle and beautiful poem about a little boy's growing up. The poet sees this little boy one day when he has just lost his ball. The loss of his ball is teaching him that in life we often lose things and they cannot be easily replaced. Such lessons are a part of growing up, and everyone has to learn them at some point in time or the other. However, it is painful for the poet to watch the boy in his sad state. He is sure that the ball, as well as the person who whistles by the boy, feels the same way as he does. The setting of the ball poem. The poem is set near the harbor, as the poet says that the little boy's ball rolled away from him and into the water. Both the poet and the boy are near the harbor. The poet can in fact see the boy and even his facial expressions very clearly. The poem consists of 25 lines in total. These lines are not divided into stanzas. Here they are divided into meaningful segments for the purpose of this summary in order to make the poem easier to understand. So let's begin. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? I saw it go, merrily bouncing down the street and then merrily over. There it is in the water. In these lines, the poet asks his reader a question. He has seen a young boy's ball rolling away from him, bouncing happily on its way. Merrily means cheerful or happily. Bouncing means jumping up and down. And finally, the ball falling into the water. He asks his reader what the boy should do now that his ball is gone. No use to say, "Oh, there are other balls." An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy. As he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into the harbor where his ball went. I would not intrude on him, a dying. Another ball is worthless now. In these lines, the poet thinks for a moment that he ought to console the boy who has lost his ball by telling him that there will be other balls just like that one that he will come across sooner or later. However, he understands that such false consolation will not make the boy feel any better. A feeling of grief means sorrow, has come over the boy. He stands very rigid. Rigid means straight. Trembling means shaking. So he is standing very straight for some times and then starts shivering or shaking all over. He watches the ball go into the harbor and down in the water. Harbor means dock or the port. And he feels that his childhood has also taken the same route away from him. At such time, the poet feels that it would be wrong to go up to the boy and intrude on his solitude. Now, intrude means what? Invader. a dime another ball. Dime here means 10 cents. It is a currency in US. So 10 cents it's called dime. Now giving him a dime to purchase another ball will not hold any value for him. Worthless means useless or it is valueless. So that will not. Giving money to him to buy another ball will be worthless. He senses first responsibility in the world of possessions. People will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy, and no one buys a ball back. Money is external. In these lines, the poet tells us that the little boy is undergoing a transformation. He is just now coming to the realization that the ball will be his responsibility, was his responsibility, as many things will be after this. In this world, everything you own is our responsibility and you must keep those things safe. Possessions means ownership. However, nothing you own will be all yours forever. Other people will take away your ball or it will get lost in some or the other way. No one will buy another ball for you. Money is only something you can show off, but ultimately it cannot buy you inner peace. Here the ball is a symbol for all one's possessions. And the poet is saying that we will certainly lose them one day and that they cannot be easily replaced. He is learning well behind his desperate eyes. The epistemology of loss, how to stand up knowing what every man must one day know and most know many days. How to stand up and gradually light returns to the street. A whistle blows, the ball is out of sight. So here desperate means hopeless, without keeping any hopes. Epistemology, that is the Greek word which means knowledge. Now in the above lines the poet says that the boy's eyes have become filled with an awful sadness, but that behind all the grief he is learning an important lesson. He is learning about the loss of things one considers precious. He is learning a lesson that every man must learn and one that man must learn again and again. He is learning how to accept the loss and then move on. Suddenly the boy is brought back to his senses after hearing the sound of whistle nearby. Now he can no longer see the ball at all. Soon part of me will explore the deep and dark floor of the harbor. I am everywhere. I suffer and move. My mind and my heart move. With all that move me under the water or whistling, I am not a little boy. Now, in these lines, the poet says that he is the ball that is now about to reach the very bottom of the harbor. He is moving away from the little boy and that pains him, or he may be the one who blew the whistle as well. The truth is that he is everywhere but within the little boy. He has already grown up and therefore he has already learned about loss. He is always only watching others learn the same lesson as he has. So this is all about the poem.